So I had a problem with my wiring. The only reason that's an issue is because whoever took the tank down before me cut the vehicle harness and spliced in some wire. So I'm guessing the tank could sit on the ground and have it all hooked up along with all the extra line. I got my wiring out, fished it out from behind the tank, re-spliced it, and I was then getting fuel to the switching valve. Problem then was it wasn't consistent. I would switch it and then sometimes it would work. I'd switch it, sometimes it wouldn't work. So I decided to go ahead and just replace it while I was halfway there anyways. So this is the old one, and this is situated how you would find it in the vehicle. At least on this one, it's on the passenger side, and it has a heat shield below it that you have to take off with 3 bolts. It's attached to the frame with 2 bolts. And these are the tank inputs and returns. On mine, this side was the driver's side, this side was the passenger side, this was the out, and this was the return to the engine. This is the harness connector. There's a tab that when you're under the truck, it is on the top. You just lift up and slide it off. Once I switched out the valve, hooked everything back up, runs and switches to both tanks flawlessly, and the sending unit fuel level is changing on the gauge. Before it was reading really crazy or not changing at all. So this was on its way out as well. Maybe with fuel running from it on both sides, it would have came back to life, but it really doesn't matter. I just want to go ahead and get it in there. The fuel lines, I'm not happy with it. I had a fuel filter I was going to put in between the tank that hadn't had a bunch of fuel ran through it and the bypass valve, and I don't know what I did with it, so I'm going to get under there and redo the fuel lines again anyways. For the switching valve, it is an AC Delco, and that's all the info that's on the box. I don't remember how much it was because I've had this for a little while. You see the split loom down there in zip ties because I zip tied up the fuel lines where I ran them over the frame and everything. Where it was coming into contact with anything I was worried it was going to be rubbing on, I put some split loom over it so that that's a buffer to keep the lines from chafing or wearing through and springing a leak. Like I said, I'm not happy with it. I know I'm going to end up taking it apart and redoing it, but I'm looking at doing a fairly long trip with it here coming up this weekend, and right now I just want to be able to use both the tanks short term. But it's running fine now, and hopefully if you have to do this, you can find a better way to do it than I did. If you don't have to do it and you're happy running one tank, I completely understand, because this is a huge pain. Thank you very much for watching.